Hi, Teri here from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is this super sweet card. I've used the Penguin Place stamp set together with the Penguin Builder Punch, and I've created a Snowball Fight Scene card. These two penguin friends have been busy building their piles of snowballs, but the one in blue has finished his and has already thrown his first snowball, and so the fight begins. Let's get started. These are all the measurements you need for all the elements required to create this project. So if you're interested in reproducing it, take a screenshot so you can refer to it later. Here we have the Penguin Place stamp set. Now today I'm going to be using the hat and scarf images, the little tree, the scene image, and then this little round image I'm going to use for the snowballs. I'm not sure if it's meant to be for that, but that's what I'm using. I'm also using the beak and the little background stamp and one of the longer sentiments. I'm going to use the Penguin Builder Punch to create my penguins this time. So I have some basic black, some basic white and some bumblebee cardstock. I need 2 of the black main bodies, 2 of the basic white inner bodies, and then 4 bumblebee feet. I'm going to stamp the eyes using Memento Tuxedo Black and the beak using Bumblebee. I'm going to stamp the eyes first of all, and then it's a little easier to position the beak. I have some basic white card here for the rest of the stamping. Now I'll be using Pool Party to stamp the snowballs and Real Red and Pacific Point for the hats and scarves. I'll start by stamping the snowballs. Now this might be a bit tricky to see, but we'll see. Now I'm going to stamp off each time so they're very light. Now I need 3 individual snowballs for my scene, and then I need 2 separate piles of snowballs. So my first pile is going to have 3 at the bottom, then 2 in the middle and 1 at the top. Now my second pile is going to have 3 at the bottom and just 2 at the top. Now I wasn't very happy with the placement of this second pile, so I'm going to do it again. I need 1 hat and 1 scarf for each of the penguins, so I'm going to do 1 set in Pacific Point and the other set in Real Red. All these elements will be cut out by hand. The white bodies on the penguins can now be stuck to the black. I now need to perform a little surgery on both of these penguins. Now it doesn't hurt them, so don't panic. On one of the penguins, I'm going to separate the arms from the body, but just leave the top pieces intact. So I'm just following the curve of the body to separate the arms. Now the second arm, it's easiest to do from the back. So I'm just following that curve and separating it. So they're still attached, but I can move them about a bit. Now on the second penguin, I'm actually going to remove his left arm, just like so. I can now dress my penguins in the scarves and the hats, and then I can add the feet. Now I'm going to add the feet in such a way that my blue penguin is going to be sat down and my red penguin will be stood up. Next, I'm going to position the arms how I want them. Now, starting with my blue penguin, I'm going to add a little glue to the back of the left hand and then stick it towards the centre of the body. Just hold it in place until it takes. And then I've got my 3 individual snowballs. 2 of them I've added dimensionals onto the back and 1 I've left without. And I'm going to glue this one flat over the penguin's little hand that I've just positioned. Like so. Now his right hand, I'm going to add just a little piece of dimensional onto the back. I want this one raised up slightly. And if I can get the backing off it, I can then position this one so it's holding the snowball. Like so. Very simple to do. A little bit fiddly, but it's fine. Okay, so that's my blue boy done. Now for my red one. Now on the arm that I took off, you want to piece it together so it's in the correct position, and then add a little piece of dimensional onto the front of the hand and remove the backing, and then add a little bit of wet glue onto the other end of the arm. Now I'm going to position this. Now his arms aren't very long, bless him, so he can't be throwing snowballs sort of over his head. He has to throw them at sort of chin height. So I've just raised his arm up and position it and just hold it down at the base so that wet glue takes. And then I'll take one of the other snowballs and remove the backing from the dimensional and then position that one so it sort of looks like he's throwing it. That's the idea anyway. And that's my 2 little penguins complete. I'm going to add some dimensionals onto the back of them. My front panel is in normal weight basic white card. I'm going to use 2 colours of ink for my background, garden green for the trees and smoky slate for the hills and valleys. I'm going to use Pool Party ink to stamp the little background stamp all over the top of the card. Now I'm stamping off each time, so this again is very light. I just want to add a little bit more interest to the card. The sentiment will be stamped in the bottom right corner, and I'm using Pacific Point ink. My card base is in crumb cake cardstock, and this is half a standard sheet of card scored in the middle and folded to create a landscape card. Now for inside the card I have a basic white mat, and I'm going to decorate the bottom of it with a strip of Pacific Point card onto which I'll add a strip of Pacific Point Designer Series paper from the Brights 6-inch pack. Then I have my stamped panel, and I'm going to layer that onto a mat of Pacific Point and then add all my other elements. I'm going to add some pencil marks near my flying snowball just to indicate a little movement. Now, I actually found this the hardest thing to do on this card. I'm not very good at sort of freestyling anything. But the good thing with pencil is if you don't like what you've done, as long as you've done it lightly enough, you can just rub it out and go again. And that's my card complete. So another super easy card. Now, I was thinking about embossing the stamped panel on the front, but I wasn't sure I'd be able to draw the pencil lines in afterwards, so I didn't. But if you didn't want to draw the lines, then that would be a great look to finish off the card. And here's another look at my original card. The mat I've used for this one is Real Red. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.